you have had so many miracles because he's been a blessing to the Jewish people that the heavens have opened in his life. Your grandson
Yes.
had a rare type of leukemia, no cure, no chance, given up.
Given up.
What happened?
We were in Jerusalem for the opening of the embassy, and we're with government officials from Israel and government officials from Washington. We're at dinner. One of the guys from Washington's phone rings, and he said, "My wife has a prophecy for you." And long story short, she said, "Pastor, I know you guys are busy. I know it's late there in Jerusalem, but God told me I had to call you right now and give you this word. And the word is, the lion will roar from Jerusalem." And I said, "Well, what does that mean to you?" She said, "I don't know, but God said I had to give it to you right now." Well, we're thinking the lion in Jerusalem is roaring. And we hung up the phone.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, and 2 minutes later, my son calls, our grandson, who was 7 months old. His name is Lion. And he calls and said, "Dad, would you guys pray? We're headed to the hospital. Lion's not feeling well. We think something's wrong." By the time we got back to the U.S., they had done the tests. We all meet at the Cook's Children's Hospital. We're in the room. In walks the doctors, the nurses, the chaplain, and they said, "Lion has a very rare form of leukemia." They didn't tell us until later that they've never had a child recover from this kind of leukemia.
Oh.
And so we immediately began to pray. As we had friends in the Christian world, we had Jews, we had rabbis all over the world praying to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for Lion's miracle. 3 weeks later, they called us in and said, "Listen, we ran the tests on this 20 or 30 times before we called you guys in. We called the top 5 or 6 heads of children's cancer in the world. There is no record of any child having this, any medical history in the history of children's cancer. Lion has, number one, he does not have the bad gene, and we found out almost everybody in the world has the bad gene. He doesn't have the bad gene, but he has a gene that we don't have any record of anybody his age ever having. And it took him from, we've never had a child survive this, to 95% cure rate. And that was 2.5 years ago. He is healthy, he's big, he's strong, he's happy, he's, and they started calling it the God gene and the lion gene. And talk about
they actually called it.
They were in the hospital calling it the lion gene, the God gene.